And let me tell you something else. I'm going to be the first person to have 3 Oscars, even though everyone knows I already should have, because I got robbed in 1950.
That's certainly ungracious. Yes, and dismissive of Miss Judy Holliday's winsome performance.
She won by default! That bitch Ann Baxter, she pushed her way into my category and we split the vote. That's why she won.
And it was Gloria Swanson who was robbed in 1950, not you, bitch!
Yes, we have arrived. And emotions are already running high. It's time for the big one. The one and only Best Actress 1950. And I don't think I need to explain why I picked this year specifically. I mean, its reputation certainly precedes it, and to be honest, after doing Best Actress 1962 on my channel, which I consider one of the all-time great Oscar lineups, I didn't feel like settling for less. And the only way to go up is 1950.
We didn't need dialogue, we had faces.
And there is a reason why this lineup is generally considered the greatest of all time. You not only have signature performances from almost everyone involved, but rather a peak of Hollywood in one single category, with 2 performances that are not just an iconic part of movie history, but movie history itself. Undeniable, legendary.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
2 performances so legendary that the question can only be, which one of these 2 actresses took home the Oscar? Bette Davis or Gloria Swanson? Well, the fact that neither of them won only adds to the fascination around this entire lineup. And of course, not only did 2 of the most famous dramatic performances ever put on the screen lose here, but in a very rare instance in Academy history, they lost to an actress in a comedy.
How many?
How many what?
Lines did you speak?
5?
Yes, in my next video series, I will cover it all. The 2 legends and the woman who shockingly beat them to the gold. But was it really a shock? As always, many only look at this race from today's point of view, when the dust has settled and we know which performances became movie history and which became slightly forgotten. But how was all of this seen at the time? Did Judy Holliday's win really came out of nowhere? Or was it more complex than that? And of course, I will not only look at the Oscar race, but also the women behind it. Bette Davis and Gloria Swanson might have lost the award, but both achieved artistic comebacks that were almost unheard of and proved that their talent still shine just as brightly as during their peak years in the industry. And I will also happily cover the career of the wonderful, one-of-a-kind Judy Holliday, whose life was tragically cut short by illness, and career by Hollywood's limited ideas of stardom and a growing atmosphere of hate and mistrust in the entire country. And then there are 2 more nominees who also deserve their fair share of attention, because they too add to the overall reputation and legends of this category. There is Eleanor Parker, who may have left us a different signature role, but whose career finally took off in 1950 with the kind of work that often gets ignored by the Academy, but was too impressive to be denied. And then of course there was Ann Baxter, also with the most remembered role of her career as the titular role in All About Eve, and whose nomination made this the first time 2 actresses from the same movie were competing together in the Best Actress category, which of course has caused endless speculation still to this day if she had ultimately cost her co-star the Oscar. I mean, for all the time I spent in my last videos trying to make it clear that many things in Ryan Murphy's feud are completely made up, this conversation actually has quite some truth to it.
I got robbed in 1950.
I feel that I should have had the Oscar for Margot Channing.
That bitch Ann Baxter, she pushed her way into my category and we split the vote. That's why she won.
I was not under contract with Fox. Miss Baxter was.
Loser!
So who was robbed in the end? And was anyone robbed at all? Or did the Academy make the correct choice here? Obviously, in a year as iconic as this, everyone has a different answer to this question, and in the end, everything I will say about the nominees is obviously just my personal opinion. So,
Fasten your seatbelts.
we will get into all of it. The nominees, their careers, their movies, their reviews, how they became a part of this Oscar race, and of course, why it ultimately ended up the way it did.
The winner is Judy Holliday.
It's time for Best Actress 1950.